Okay, so the VLab program is a program that's going to allow you to access the Millersville lab computers from your own home computer. So you're going to basically be seeing what you see on a Millersville lab computer, but on your home computer, so it's pretty convenient if you don't feel like trudging through the snow and going to a lab computer. You can use this to access SPSS in order to do your assignments, and Dr. Case Lilly will talk about SPSS in a little more detail throughout the semester. One thing you need to remember though is just like a Millersville lab computer, you cannot save anything to VLab, so you're going to need to be able to use a jump drive. And you're going to use this jump drive in order to access your SPSS databases and the code books that you're going to be downloading. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a few minutes. One thing that you're going to need in this class is to be organized. So take a few minutes to set up your jump drive in a way that helps you stay organized. Make some folders and get everything organized so that you're able to find everything as quickly as possible, because it's going to help you out a lot during the test, and it's going to save you time throughout the semester. Okay, so on your jump drive you're going to be saving 4 SPS databases that you'll be using throughout the semester. I have typed out here, and these databases can be found at this website, and I'm going to include a link to this website at the in the bottom comment section of this video. Be sure to also download the codebook and the appendix. I'll show you how to do that as well. The codebooks are there because the variable names that will be in these files are going to be pretty unfamiliar. They can seem pretty random, but they're assigned that way for a specific reason. And the codebooks are basically going to let you know what each of the variables mean. So it's very important that you have them so that you understand what the variables are and how you're going to be able to use those variables in SPSS. Okay, so here we are on this website that I've included the link to. If you scroll down here on the left, you're going to find the SPSS appendix. Go ahead and click on this link. And then you're going to want to download the appendix and put it into your jump drive. So here's the appendix you'll be using. In order to put it on your jump drive, just go up here to this icon that says Save, find your removable disk, go to your folder, and then you can save it there. The next thing we're going to want to download are the datasets and the codebooks. So we click on this link right over here, and we'll start with the datasets. So each one of these downloads them directly to your computer. So go ahead and click on those, and then you can open up your removable disk, find your folder, throw them into the database folder that you've set up. You can see I have all 4 downloaded here already. So if you have Chrome, you can just click drag right onto that. Might have to minimize it first, but you can click drag and it'll save it right onto your jump drive. So do that for all 4 database files. And then go ahead and open up the codebooks. Do the same thing. This link is kind of crazy right here. You want to click on the hints. That'll take you to the actual codebook. This variables thing takes you to something else. So download a codebook. You just click on the link. It opens up down here. You can throw it right into your codebook portion of your jump drive that you've set up. So at this point you have your codebooks, your datasets, and you're ready to jump onto VLab. So the next portion of the video will show you how to set up VLab on your home computer and access that, and then we'll get into how to open up these datasets in SPSS. So I'm going to walk you through how to install VLab on your personal computer at home so you're able to access SPSS and any other program that you would have access to at the Millersville lab, but on your own personal machine. So go to your desktop and open up your web browser. I like to use Google, so type in VLab Millersville University. That's going to be the first link here. You click on that and go down to this Get Started area. How to install the View client. These are the 4 versions of the client they have. Figure out which one applies to you and go ahead and download it. And then depending on where your browser is, Chrome, all your stuff ends up down here in this corner. So click on that and say yes to everything. And then you can just go ahead, check this box, and hit next, 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 next until it's ready to install. And it pretty much takes care of itself from this point. Okay, so you have to restart your system for everything to take place. So, okay, once you have the client installed, you want to find it on your desktop, open it up, double click on this, put in your password. It's your same username and password that you use for your email account or to get on any of the campus computers. So at this point you're connected to the desktop. You're going to want to put your USB into its slot, and then up here where it says connect USB device, you just want to make sure that your USB device is connected. That's mine right there. And then down here, this will be where your USB device is. It's going to be in the F drive called removable disk, and you're going to want to open it up. We'll go to our social statistics folder here, and then we'll go to our databases. I'm going to show you two different ways to open up these SPSS databases. One for me is just a little easier than the other. One way to do it is to open up your jump drive, double click on the data set that you wish to open, and then SPSS takes care of the rest. The other is, if you already have SPSS open, you can go through these series of instructions that I've written out here and open up your data set. Okay, so we've opened up the database folder. You can click on any one of these data sets. We'll go in here to the GSS10. You just double click on this. This will open it up in SPSS for you. There's a way to open up the files individually in SPSS if you want to do that as well. I just find this way to be a little faster, a little easier. So it's going to open up two windows. One is your output window, and then this is your window that'll show the variables. As you can see, these are the variables up top here. And Dr. Case Lilly will go over these a lot during the semester. And here's the data. Variable view is a little easier to work with. This is what I normally worked with when I was doing the tests and whatnot last year. And then this will be your output window. This is where the SPSS output will be delivered. So this is one way to open it up. The other way you can do it, you can go to like File, you can open Data, and then it's just like any other Windows program. You just kind of, you find where it is, open up the folder, open up the other folder, and then you can open up any one of these data sets. So that's the other way to open up stuff if you're already in SPSS and you don't want to go back to your jump drive. So one of the common things that you're going to be doing this semester is working with variables. And these variables have code names, and you're going to want to know what these variables mean. One of the ways to do that is using SPSS itself. You can use the utilities variables feature, which will open up a dialog box, and the left side of the box will contain variable names, and the right side of the box will contain a label for what those variables means. I'll show you that right here. Okay, so we're back in SPSS. We want to go up here to where it says Utilities. Click on that. Highlight the first thing there. It says Variables. This will open up a box. Over here on this side will be the variable names. And over on the right side here will be what this variable means. So age of respondent, age means the age of the respondent. Here's the label. It'll tell you all the information you're going to need to know in order to work with this. Okay, so one of the other ways that you can find out what each one of these variable names means is using your codebook that we've downloaded earlier. So here we're back in the codebook section of our jump drive. You can double click on this codebook, and that will bring up this code book. This is the one for the GSS 10, and Dr. Case Lilly will explain these data more specifically. Alright, we're going to run a frequency table here. You want to go up here to Analyze, scroll down to Descriptive Statistics, over here to Frequencies. Now on your left-hand column, this is where all your variables are going to be. Okay? And if Dr. Case Lilly gives you a variable name and not this description, it's going to be difficult to find it. So I'm going to teach you a quick way to organize these so you can find the variable names very quickly. So if you right-click on your mouse, it'll bring up this little menu. You can display the variable names. So these are the actual names. And then you can sort alphabetically and make your life a whole lot easier. So we're going to look at health here. So in order to run a frequency table on this, we're going to select health. You're going to click on this arrow. It's going to bring it over here into this variable box. Now there's some options over here that will be explained probably later on this semester as you get into things. For example, if you want to cut your data into quartiles, if you want to do central tendencies, if you want to look at the dispersion, the distributions, all that will be in there. Make sure this box, Display Frequency Tables, is checked, and then just hit OK. Now it'll bring up that output window that I talked about earlier, and this is going to be your frequency. Alright, so the first thing you're going to look at is N. That's the number of people in your sample. In this case, you've got 977 valid responses, and you're missing 523. These are the conditions that the people could have selected for their own health. Excellent, good, fair, poor, and then your totals. Is there going to be your frequencies? How many people said excellent? 250. 440 people said good. 228 said fair. 59 said poor. Then you got your percents, and then you got your valid percents, and then you got your cumulative percents, and Dr. Case Lilly will go over all of that in class. Okay, so don't forget, I'm in Macumsey 119 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 o'clock to 10:45, and I'm there to help you to be successful this semester. So if there's anything you didn't understand in the video, anything that I can do to explain this more clearly, come on down and I'll talk you through it. Anything you're having any sort of confusion with in class, if you're not understanding what's going on, come on down, I'll help you out. That's what I'm there for, that's my job. I'm there to help you be successful this semester. One thing that Dr. Smith always told us last semester is you have to be able to understand all the really early concepts because everything in this course builds upon itself. So everything you do at the beginning of this course, you're going to be doing at the end of this course. It's just going to get more and more difficult. So you don't want to get behind early because it'll be much more difficult to catch up at the end.